All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Just checking my sound, checking what's going on. It seems like I'm not even in my seat right now. So, welcome. I had to go grab my glasses. My name is Sincerely George, and I want to welcome you all to the XRP Community Update. Not sure if the glasses are going to help me or not, but we'll see. We will see. Okay. All right. So today's XRP spotlight is on Ferdi, and I want to put attention on Ferdi because he is doing an interesting challenge. If you know me, you know that I am planning on doing a lazy fit girl, and I was looking for a way to kick that off without having accessibility into Cinnamon for non-creators. So Ferdi's challenge actually enables me to get involved. So let's flip over to the challenge because we have a lot of stuff to cover today. So Ferdi has put this out there. Sometimes it's time to lose weight. Read my latest blog, Losing Weight for a Good Cause. So if we go over, he needs to force himself to lose some weight. I can totally understand that. Challenges help me to achieve big goals, and I'm often out there going, I'll challenge you, I will do it with you. And that's what I'm going to be doing with this one. So Ferdi's challenge starts, I believe, September 1st. And his goal is to lose 20 kilos or 40 European pounds before the end of the year. That is a lot of weight, I just want to say. That is a lot of weight. So that's September, October, November, December. So 4 months, 10 pounds a month, 2.5 pounds per week. That is a lot of weight. I just want to say that. And it's snack season, right? All of the holiday parties. And what he's doing is if he gains weight, then he's going to give away XRP to some specific charities. And if he loses weight, depending on how much weight he loses, he will be giving XRP to specific charities as well. In this article, which I will link in the description of this video, he talks about how much XRP he will be giving away based on the different parameters that he has for his weight loss. And yes, so he's also inviting fellow losers and sponsors to get involved. So I will be a fellow loser. I have a charity that I hope to dedicate some XRP to, and I will talk more about that. I don't want to talk about it too much. I have to read the rules a little bit more closely to make sure I follow all the rules. But you could also sponsor Ferdi by, if he loses 1 to 10 pounds, then you'll dedicate 1 to 5 XRP to each group. 11 to 20 pounds, he will donate 1 to 10 XRP to each group. And he lists the different charities that he will be giving to. He's listed 8 charities: Children on the Edge, Filters for Hope, Happy Kids, Dirty Hands, One More Home, St. Jude's, XRP Boobs. Whoa, that's a new one. XRP Trees, and an additional one, Company for Dogs. So I'm going to include this article. I think it's a great way for people to get involved and to, join in the challenge, do something that's good for yourself while helping the XRP community. And I will have more news about what I plan on doing for this. I thought I would already know it, but life happens. So if you saw my Twitter post on Twitter, you probably noticed that I mentioned that I was going to talk about 2 security risks that are important. So I found out about these yesterday in my own way of finding out about things. And the first one I want to point to is a malicious piece of code that is running against Chrome. Now, Chrome is the most popular browser out there, so a lot of people use it, and a lot of people use it for storing their passwords. I highly recommend that you don't do that, that you remove any credit card and any passwords that you have stored on Chrome. And the reason is because this virus, this malicious code, is not being recognized by any antivirus softwares. Let me just check my voice volume here. I think I'm doing good. Let me know if you can't hear me. So this piece of software doesn't work. This piece of software is not being identified by any antivirus software. And if you were to scan the files that are being used for it, it doesn't trigger the virus total, right? Like when there's there's an online application that you can use to scan for viruses, and it's not recognizing it even as well. So this sample is not obfuscated. It's totally, clear text. You would expect antivirus software to block it easily. So why are most AVs not detecting it? And the reason is because it's actually using, regular software for the malicious attack. And so I just want to touch on this. And the key thing is that you should get all your passwords and any credit card information off of Chrome. The malware was not only clever, it's also a real threat to your privacy. And down here, the sample contains a hard-coded Google form URL. The form is a simple but clear form. It only contains one field, and it's large. The field that it contains is large enough to take all of the data that you have stored in Chrome and store it in here. Once they have that, then they can reverse engineer, Chrome's own hashing algorithm to try and identify exactly what your account information and try to get into it. The thing is that they're not exactly sure how it will be used. Okay, you win, it's malware, but it's not known or brand new. The malware is silent and very fast running. It takes less than 5 seconds to complete the task. It does not create any files on the disk, and it sends the data to a secured Google form. So, these white hat organizations have reached out to Google, talk to them about how their software is being used. There's no updates here in regards to how it's being used. This document talks about what it's doing and how the SQLite database is being used to store the information. It would be very easy for them to migrate that away from Google Forms, but this just broke over the weekend, so I wanted to make you aware of it. I also want to make you aware that hackers are actively trying to steal passwords from 2 widely used VPNs, and this is based on patches that haven't been applied by people that are using the VPNs. So hackers are actively unleashing attacks on attempt to steal encrypted keys, passwords, and other sensitive data from servers that have failed to apply critical fixes for 2 widely used virtual private networks, VPNs, okay? And the 2, I thought I had highlighted it. I apologize. I have it here. So the two that they're actually honing in on are Fortigate SSL VPN and also Pulse Secure SSN VPN. So both of them they've been trying to attack this for an extended period, but the amount of attacks that are going on has actually increased. So the scan found the vulnerable endpoints belong to about 2,500 blocked IP addresses known as autonomous systems. And over the past 36 hours, so this article was written on the 24th or 25th, the 24th of August. And over the past 36 hours, hackers have started spraying the internet with code that attempts to opportunistically exploit the difficult independent research, Kevin Beaumont says. So they've actually been able to, get them to attach to one of their servers and, sort of reverse engineer what's going on. But the vulnerabilities are serious because they affect a piece of software that's required to be accessible to the internet and can act as a gateway for highly sensitive parts of the organization network. One fortnight flaw, which they dubbed the magic backdoor, also allows remote attackers who know a hard-coded key to change passwords. So I wanted to highlight both of these. There's always security vulnerabilities out there, but if you're using Fortnite or Pulse Secure for your VPN solution, you may want to select a different one or make sure that you have applied all the patches that are necessary, especially if you're using it on your server. So a little bit of a detour here. I will include both of these articles. These are both articles that are brand new and catching a lot of attention within the security circle, so I wanted to bring it to your attention. So moving on, I'm doing pretty good on time this morning. It feels good. Welcome to everybody who is here. We're about to change gears. So I'm having some personal difficulties right now that laid me out yesterday, and all I could do was listen. It's one of those moments where, if all you can do is listen, why not listen to people who are live streaming? And I honed in on Digital Nomad Investor yesterday. He had a live stream last night and I was listening to that, and the conversation fell to Libra Calibra. And I didn't respond to this in the chat because when I did respond in the chat was all that I can do. You may notice that I don't have a lot of mobility today, so I'll leave you with that. Anyways, Libra Calibra. So Libra was one of the things that that was the focus yesterday, and I won't go into the conversation that Digital Nomad Investor was having around this. I think you should go and watch the live stream for that information. But I did notice that in talking about this, there was the belief that there's only a Libra white paper, and I've been watching Libra because I think it is worthy of attention. It's sort of fallen from center focal point, as we all think that it's gone, that it's fallen to the wayside. But one of the points that was made was, that the Digital Nomad Investor was making yesterday was that they only had 10 talking points. The legal team only had 10 talking points, and they didn't do a very good job of using them. They didn't answer any questions. Well, that's exactly the defense that you should be using, in my opinion, if you want to get away with whatever you're trying to get away with. And so we often see people go in front of Congress or go in front of Senate and say, I don't remember. And they say it over and over and over again, not giving any answers, not giving any insight into what they do remember. And so you have to try and get them into a corner to answer the question. And I personally feel that from the position of defending a position, I think that the Facebook legal team did a great job of not committing to anything and not giving away anything at the same time. So I, as somebody who doesn't want to see this come forward, think they did a horrible job. They should tell us everything, and they should have committed to not continuing with development. But that was one of the massive wins. If you think of things from like, wow, I wish I could do that. That was one of the massive wins. Maxine Waters was trying to corner them into saying that they would no longer do any development. And they said, the takeaway was, we're totally willing to work with regulators and we look forward to the ongoing discussion, but we can't stop development. And I thought that was just awesome. Not as an XRP holder, but from a position of, I'm sorry, you can't block me from moving forward with something that I think is going to change the world. And, I think any project that, is going against, a force like the government that really wants to proceed forward should take a page out of their rule book and definitely use that when they're moving forward. So the thing I want to hone in on is the fact that the Digital Nomad Investor yesterday was saying that there's only a white paper, and we use that within the digital asset space when we're talking about Libra, is that there's only a white paper. But I'm sorry, everybody, there is more than a white paper. There is a white paper which is written for people that don't know technology, and then there's also a technical white paper, and I downloaded this on my phone. I've read this document, but this is the technical white paper. Okay, it talks about how everything is going to work, all the different parts, how a validator works, how transactions are executed, on their ledger, how things would be, how transactions would be, identified or flagged for bad actors. This document is about the same length as the XRP Ledger white paper. Okay, so they have a technical model that is talking about how things would happen. I know we in the community say that there's only a white paper, but there's more than a white paper, and I want to bring you to the next part because as I just finished stating, Libra, that's what I like to call them, Libra, they have not stopped development. And I want to, this is their GitHub, okay? And as you can see, this is a fully functional project. You have the ability to download and run this code, and they haven't stopped development. You have code updates going in here. The common folder was updated only 13 hours ago, and I can refresh this page for you, but there are regular updates happening to this. This repository is growing exponentially. The last time I checked in here, there were only about 5 or 6 different pieces. And I don't know if I still have that folder open on my phone. I'm not looking. I'm not allowed to look down. But they had 5 key folders out here. Let me see if I can remember them from when I was looking at it before. So they had consensus, they had client, consensus client, I think Docker, and where's the other one that I'm thinking about? But a lot of this stuff has been updated. As you can see, 20 hours, 15 hours. They just finished downloading a ton of code in here because when I was on Digital Nomad Investor, I was like, no, seriously, there is an area where they're making updates. So if we go into this common area, you see that we have the code, and instead of commenting, I was out here going, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Do they not have any code? And I was looking at their code. It's all written in Rust. And I'm holding my phone up here so that I'm not looking down. And, it's substantial code out here. So I know we say that there's only a white paper, but they have not stopped development. They've had a team of people working on this for over a year. Great and powerful cryptographers who have been looking at other projects, and you can swipe code because everything is open on the internet. Additionally, their website has not been taken down, and this is a nice website for your basic retail purchase that would be trying to buy something, and they're trying to still continue getting attention to what they have going on. So it's only a white paper, but this is the reason why I think governments around the globe are very scared. Governments around the globe are very scared. I know I said not in there, but is because they haven't stopped, because their promotion material is still out there and prominently displayed and getting attention. Yes, they're not marketing it on Facebook. They're not marketing it on WhatsApp, but they already have payment capabilities on WhatsApp. And if they could move that to Libra, then that's the final nail in the coffin. As well, in regards to why everybody is scared about Facebook getting into this space, is because the amount of users of Facebook is a small country by itself. If they could get a large number of people, let's say 60% of their users, to migrate over to using Libra for cross-border payments, then countries would have a difficult time catching up. So I think that, all of the information surrounding, Libra being only a white paper yesterday was very solid and on point. But I wanted to draw attention to this because I want all of you guys to have an understanding of some of the stuff that I'm tracking and the fact that it is more than a white paper. We downplay it to only being a white paper, but it is more than a white paper. And I need coffee. All right, moving on. So this is another thing that I want to, I'm definitely in a great mood this morning. So this is another thing that I want to hone in on. I see that a lot of people have been on this chat, and let me just increase it because I don't want to draw attention to any specific person. But a lot of XRP community members have been on this post that Western Union put out, and attacking Western Union. And I sort of paused, but I'm in Lionel's camp where he says, stop griping on Western Union. They took an article that was put out by Payments and are saying that in the next 5 years, cross-border payments could reach $240 billion, which means providing seamless transactions for our customer is more important to us than ever. Check out more on cross-border payments trends in payments. So nowhere in the payments article or here did they talk about not using XRP or Ripple or using XRP or Ripple. And the reason I think we should maybe back off of them is because let's go back to the challenge. If somebody tells you that you need to lose weight and they're like, you're getting fat, you need to lose weight, what do? If you're anything like me, you become a defiant little pain in the butt and you put on weight. So the more we try and force, Western Union into the position of using Ripple solutions, the more we could be possibly pushing them away. We really need to be helping to educate them about the capabilities of the Ripple solution suite instead of, mocking them and making fun of them. That yes, they are a corporation, but it's a corporation run by humans and all of them have egos. It's like the more money you make, the bigger your ego gets and the more upset you become when people start honing in on your difficulties. So we want to make sure that the conversation between the Western Union legal team, Western Union leadership team, and Ripple is as productive as possible. And if we as Ripple and XRP community supporters are out there attacking them, then we have bigger problems. So to support my case, I want to go over to the payment article here. This is the one that they were pointing to. And in this article, they're really talking about the ISO 222, right? Many are choosing to implement ISO 222 as a common messaging standard to achieve greater interoperability between payment systems, with the system seeing more than 80 implementation in 40 countries, including TCH's RTP system in the United States and Australia's NPP. Despite ISO 220's potential, there are barriers to it becoming a universal standard. Private sector firms may be hesitant to adopt such systems because they have a limited budget and there are potentials for more compelling technologies which they would like to invest. And in yesterday's stream, I was talking about how banks are not seeing the profitability from moving forward with their digital plans. They've invested the majority of their money into trying to make digital solutions for retail, business, and corporate partners, more accessible and usable, but they're not seeing the profitable gains that they wanted from that. So if we keep moving forward, and where am I now? So even, in Marjaloop, according to the project's website, anyone wants that financial, and this is Marjaloop, and this is talking about Africa right now. According to the project's website, anyone in the financial services is invited to explore the code. It's particular, it enables central banks, market infrastructure, payment processors, and fintech firms to accelerate the creation and deployment of interoperable payments. It gives existing payment processors and providers a level playing field to connect to, right? This article I seem to have highlighted and focused in on the wrong part also talks about the fact that the code is open, and this is written multiple times, that it's open and open source makes it possible for hackers to see exactly how to exploit the system. So another article, I've labored on. So I want to go over to the ISO 222 site. Now, as you can see, this is such a glossy and pretty site. They do not care about making the site beautiful. This table does not even sort properly. You've got the oldest update to this at the top, which is not what I care to see. So let's just scroll. Sorry if this freaks you out, but I highlighted one down here, the last accepted change request to the ISO 222, which is way down here, right? So the reason I'm honing in on this really quickly is because when we're talking about software and we're talking about changing something about a piece of software, you have lists of all these change requests. If you look at GitHub, you will see that there are change requests and pull requests that are out there that people that are developing it are saying, hey, include this code. So this is a request for them to make an update to the ISO 222 specification. And there are more, right? Like there are more down here that are open for consideration. The list is never ending and it's listed by date. So the last one that I see that has been accepted is one from November 2018. So if we're talking about a group that is still, that the last thing that they've accepted is something from November 2018, then we should pause, right? And here is that change request. I downloaded it. And when you create change requests, and this even applies for, Ripple technology, when you are an organization that is utilizing a big piece of software like any of the things in the RippleNet solution suite, if you encounter issues, you need to create a document that details exactly what needs to change, why it's impacting you, and push that information forward, hoping that it gets changed. But this has this is a requirement document for what needs to be changed. And I'm not even going to go into what's in here, but we can't, I want things to change overnight, don't get me wrong, but we can't expect things to change overnight because we're talking about financial systems and they hold on to my money. They are holding on to my money and I don't want my money to disappear. The charges that will go up against those financial institutions from the government if they fail to adhere to or implement the right rules, if their legal team and their architecture team don't properly vet the system for compliance with existing rules and security, they're in big trouble. They move so slowly. You think your grandmother moves slowly? Banks and financial institutions move slower. So I wanted to bring that to your attention as to why, why not now? Why haven't we moved? What is blocking us? Why haven't people implemented this? And this is the company that had put out the request. So let's go to, here's the article I was talking about right here. All of a sudden, and this is back about Marjaloop, all of a sudden the open source nature of Marjaloop sends shivers down the spine. The core code is in plain view on GitHub, and a seasoned hacker can make quick work in identifying easy to exploit holes, especially in the least technologically sophisticated end nodes in an interoperable network. This is sort of, right, loose coupling here, but sort of what happened with the Swift hack on the Bangladeshi bank, central bank, right? And I don't think it was the central bank. Let me take that back. But it was the weakest link in regards to being able to get money out of the system. And that's what they're looking for. That's what hackers are looking for. So let's get to the fun part. I'm sorry it took me so long to get here, but let's get going. So Javon was the first one, followed by Zbits. Then we had Lionel, Jungle, Carl Lewis, Albertina Elf, Ahmed Ali, XRP Carolina, Anthony, Ajax. Oh, I'm sure I'm going to miss some names. RTB. Who else do we have? XRP Carolina, in case I didn't see you. Carl Lewis. The Great Hate. Danny Torres, one of the smart women in the XRP community. She won the other night. I was super amazed by all of her winnings. Jake Farrow, pleasure to have you here today. Calvin Knight. Okay. XRP Boo Boo, awesome to have you here this morning. And I'm sure I'm missing some other people. Digital Nomad Investor, happy you are here. I dropped you a note to say that I was talking about something that you talked about on your live stream yesterday. I really enjoyed your live stream, and I just wanted to make sure that you have your facts straight. That's all. So everybody needs to go and listen to all the stuff that was around the Libra Calibra. But, you know, as we go out and attack Libra Calibra, which I think is definitely on point, I want us to have our facts right. David D, awesome to have you here. SPO, Ferdi, awesome. And Tina Hall, fantastic that you guys are all here. So somebody told me to scroll to the bottom, start at the bottom, because sometimes I'm reading comments that are from the top. And yes, so what do you guys think? I see here that David D says we need banks and governments to move at the speed of Calvin Knight on a first date. Ooh, that is that fast? Wow. Nothing but a streamer. Then you put your hands in your head. Oh no. Oh, whatever. CG. Sincerely, George cannot see me because I lost weight. Yes, Ferdi, I love your challenge. I plan on joining you with that. I actually want to join and I want to get all the rules down so that I can focus on the rules like you have. Make sure I'm doing the same thing. I don't know if I have as much XRP as you because my bags are tiny, teeny tiny, like teeny tiny. But I would like to do it. I actually want to do it for the XRP fund. I'd like to go into that a little bit more later this week. But yeah, things are slowing me down. So let me see if you guys wrote anything out up here. XRP gang of nerds, unite, spam Western Union now. Yes, get on out there, go and attack them. But you know, these people have massive egos. I've had an opportunity to work with leadership and with different leadership in different organizations. And, you know, the challenge is that the people that follow them are a bunch of yes men. And, you know, the thing that's coming to mind right now is I worked for the head of technology in one organization, and my boss was awesome, rock star. But somehow he had, you know, peeved off the head of user interface. And so it was all of those problems got pushed down to the low level of me having to deal with the fact that they were fighting at the top. And I used to create, you know, what I would call my crayon visual designs for the system I was going to implement if the people on the UI side weren't going to come to the table. And, you know, it's amazing how much spats at the top will end up being pushed down, and they aren't willing to back off. They aren't willing to grab the olive branch and say, okay, let's see if we can make resolution. So we want to make sure that whatever is going on between Ripple and Western Union, that we're not negatively impacting that. All right. So hello, Steve. Pleasure to have you here. Awesome. And Scully's House of Thrillers. Awesome. Pleasure to have you here. If there are any creators here that have shown up to the live stream, please feel free to connect with each other. And I didn't even know you were on Twitter, Carl. So awesome. So I'm doing a giveaway today. I'm not exactly sure. Let me look over here. Oh, goodness gracious. So it looks as though we might have 28 people on right now. So I need to find a word. I need to find a word that we can get going. Gosh. All right. So where did we start? Where did we start today? So I did very little on XRP. My brain is not working 100% well this morning. So let's do MG for MoneyGram. So MG for MoneyGram in the chat. I'm going to choose from all of the people that that chat here. And let me. Oh gosh, remove. Thank you. So put MoneyGram in the chat, or MoneyGram or MG in the chat, and somebody's going to win 50 XRP. So I haven't focused any time on, you know, my gratitude. I'm in constant gratitude for all of the support that you guys have shown me by showing up here, by giving me feedback on my channel, by supporting some of the different initiatives that I've had going on, by the shout outs that people have given me in the community. And I want to take a special minute to appreciate Jungle Inc. So I was listening over the weekend. I did a special live stream specifically for creators here on YouTube, and during the live stream, you know, we had 3 different creators on who we went through their sites, talked to them, got to know them, and they found some new subscribers. So there's one in particular who's limited in her ability to actually monetize here on YouTube. And I just want to speak to the fact that Jungle, you know, during the live stream, I talked about sponsoring her for, you know, for Coil and for Cinnamon, and that is in the works. But I just want to, you know, send a massive shout out, because, you know, Jungle has also taken up the baton. He spoke about, you know, he spoke about this creator, and took an opportunity to just really call attention to the issues that we have here on YouTube for some people in smaller regions to be monetized. And, you know, it really, his shout out to Rochelle on his video really just, it made my day. And I just want to say a big thank you for taking up the cause for Cinnamon, for Coil, for creators, for helping them grow. And yeah, and also for showing up at my live streams. I really appreciate you. All right, so the last time I counted this, it's about 25 people that show up here. Let me just verify that again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 25 is an easier number for me to count. Let me go back to when this started, which is way back here. All right, the first one we have in is David D. All right, so we have 1 to Carl Lewis, 2, oh, I forgot to count that, sorry, 1 to XRP Boo Boo, 3, Carl Lewis again, 4 to Carl Lewis again, 5, oh my goodness, you guys, Carl Lewis, holy cow. Oh, okay, so I'm thinking 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, we're gonna go with 200 as our. So let's go with 1, 2, 225, because I'm sure some people are still doing it. So 178. Oh, bloody hell. All right, well, we'll have to give this a quick second. You guys will get to see me working my magic over here. You guys can stop at any point. Believe me, you guys can stop. All right. Oh, no. I'm so mad. I should have done this earlier. All right. I've lost the chat. I'm really frustrated right now. Don't laugh at me. Stop laughing at me. I see you laughing. All right, let's do this one more time. I'm going to stop it right here on SP. Sorry about this, guys, but Danny is the next person in line right under SP. So let's go with Danny. DANI is how that goes. So from that point where I put Danny in, and you guys are still on MG, oh my gosh. It's a wonderful day. But anybody who put in MG after I put in Danny, you guys are still, the lag is amazing. So send a friend, BMW. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Sorry guys, I lost the top of the chat because somebody, Danny. Okay, Danny, so let's get this going again. I see my first Danny, so I know you guys have heard me. It's Danny. All right, so we have our first one. If you guys keep going with MG. All right, Danny, awesome. Okay, you guys heard me. Awesome. I'm staying still. Danny, MG. Guys, oh, I can't do that. I love you guys. You guys are better than. All right, I'm copying this, whatever I have. I'm gonna do this twice. I don't care what you guys put in anymore. I've got to get this out. So let's create one of these. And there we go. All right. And this is gonna be a very unorthodox way of doing this. From here again, I need to find a better tool, because this is, if you're gonna do it more than once, then that's it. It's time to automate. Those are my rules. All right, Yorkshire George. All right, I'm gonna grab one more collection of these. You guys are gonna love, stop. Yorkshire George, where were you? Right there. All right, unselect that. All right, and David D. All right, let's go with my new system of, isn't this just going to be amazing? Copy all of this, copy, Excel. So the way this is going to work is I have 816 lines. I will have more in a second. We will get this going on. Pull this over. I'm going to paste all of this here. Let me see who else has come up. So we have XRP Boo Boo. I will add this from right there down to here. So let me delete V, pull this into here, go to bottom, please, not that far. Right here, I'm gonna add that here. All right, so that leaves us with a total of, let's see, that gives us a total of 1,500 with a WTF, 1567. All right, so how this is going to work is the name right above, the name above or closest to, but above the number that we select, which is going to be the row in the spreadsheet, is the one that wins. And I hope it has either MG or Danny associated with it. So yes, that's how it's going to go. The name above or on, wherever we end up stopping this within the spreadsheet, that has Danny or MG is the one that's going to win. So 1083. So G, okay, no go to line, 1083. Let me increase the size of this so you guys can read it along with me. Transparency, I love thee, because I will attack. Okay, so 1083, I'm not good. And we have, wow, right on point. Ferdi, you just won 50 XRP. All right, actually, because I've jacked this up, I'm sorry, I'm gonna do two. I'm gonna do 25 for Ferdi, 25 XRP right there. And I will do another one, generate 1341, 1341, 1341, 1341 is Javon. You've won 25 XRP as well. All right, so you are both on point. I will make sure that I get that out to you. I'm sorry if this system was not the best, but I hate YouTube chat. So I'm going to find a different way to do this, not to do this. And in case you don't understand what I'm talking about, let me move the chat over, because I'm sure there's some haters out there that are like, she just ruined it. Why didn't she do it the right way? Oh my gosh, she's so crazy. So here's the chat. I can't even go back to the top of the chat. This is the top of the chat that I have at this point. Danny Torres. And as you heard me say earlier, the first person into the chat today, golly, I forgot. Yes, it was Javon. So I can't even go up any farther in this. There's no way to go up any farther. And if I scroll to the bottom, we will see that probably, there we go. That I'm at the top of my chat again. All I can see is LW. So sorry if you don't like my system, but I like transparency, and I can't stick around because I'm moving very slow today. But I want to go back to the chat. I'm sorry that I'm moving slow today. I know you had like 10,000 entries, my dear Carl Lewis. You did very awesome. So Robert Bass Jr., do you think the MoneyGram stock price increase is a trend that XRP will follow in the months, years to come? I do think so. It's not financial advice, but I think that MoneyGram is undervalued at this point. They have, you know, a lot of debt on the books, and they're trying to get out there and have impact. I think the work that they're doing with Ripple is going to be really interesting, because the way that they're, you know, the way that they're situated around the globe, whether it be with their connections with M-Pesa in Africa, or, you know, legs into whether it be Canada, Mexico, or the Philippines, you know, they're there. They are a trusted solution for getting money to, you know, person to person. But now I think they're going to be expanding more into being a corporate partner and enable banks and financial institutions and corporations that don't want to touch digital assets to actually get into the space and move money faster. They can put money in on one side, money out on the other side. No need to actually have, you know, you can move the money real time. And I don't know if I would go so far as saying that it's an alternative to Nostro Vostro, because once you move $1 million from Canada to the Philippines, you still need somewhere to put that. You don't want to be walking around with $1 million in your account, but you don't need to have it sitting there. You can deliver the money real time, and now it's there for whatever you need to purchase in the Philippines for export. So I hope that answers your questions. Oh, I can't go back and read it. It'll be like reading a technical white paper. David, I can't go back and read it. I shot myself in the foot today because Carl Lewis was all over MG. He is on top. So thank you so much for joining me this morning. I'm sorry that I may not be as energetic as usual, but I've really had a great time sharing this information with you guys. And tomorrow tomorrow will be a new day. I have no news on tomorrow because let me just get through today. So on that note, I love you guys, and I'm interested in Ferdi's challenge. Please go out, and if you haven't already, read about it. It's right here. If you're interested in losing weight, get involved. I know a couple of different people in the XRP community have already opted in. I think there are some parameters on how to get in. If you want to join the Battle of Overweight, send me a DM and I will put your name on the list. Yes, I will write you. And yes, you have to share your weight, share me the pounds, kilos that you want to get rid of. So I DM'd him. He hasn't responded back to me. So, you know, we'll see if he actually gets back to you. If he does and he doesn't get back to me, I'll be mad. But anyways, guys, that is it. I hope you have a great day. Looking forward to seeing you on Twitter. And yes, off to walk slowly. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. Bye-bye. I need to find the button. Let me turn. All right. Bye. Mwah.